Welcome to the deep dive. We're going deep today into a collection of, well, like deeply personal stories and reflections.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they come from this document. It's full of all these stories about spiritual experiences, meditation, connection, and the teachings of someone called Mafu.
Interesting.
So we've got personal encounters, shared moments, and like lots of thoughts about life and spiritual journeys.
Okay. Sounds like we've got our work cut out for us.
Yeah, we're going to try to, pull out the key insights and explore themes of love, kindness, presence, and, the human search for inner wisdom.
I'm intrigued. Let's dive in.
Okay, so right off the bat, we meet David Gelfand,
Okay.
and there are two anecdotes about his passing. And what struck me was the shock and the sense of loss. Like, the author really felt it.
So someone important then.
Yeah, he seemed very cherished. And, for you listening, this really highlights something. Our spiritual journeys, they're often reflected in our human connections, and the impact of loss can make you appreciate those still with us.
It's true. Sometimes it takes a loss to remind us of what we have.
Yeah.
So, David, what else do we know about him?
Well, the author emphasizes his kindness, his love, his compassion, and his dedication to serving others.
Sounds like a truly good person.
Yeah, and there's this quote, "Everyone considered David a friend, and rightly so. Everyone was David's friend."
Wow. That's beautiful. To be that kind of friend to so many people. What a legacy.
It really is, and it leads the author to reflect on cherishing friends and family, calling them precious jewels in life.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
About who those precious jewels are in our own lives.
Yeah.
So who's next in this tapestry of connections?
Okay, so then we meet Ishwara Devi. She's known for her insightful posts online, the kind that encourage reflection.
The internet is full of those. What made her stand out?
Well, there's this quote that the author highlights. "The answers you seek are not out there. They are within you, waiting to be discovered. Be still and listen."
Focusing inward instead of outward. I like that.
Right. It's like a reminder to turn down the noise and listen to your inner voice.
Especially in today's world, there's just so much information constantly bombarding us. It's easy to get lost in it all.
Yeah, exactly.
So did this resonate with the author?
Definitely. The author even shares a story about feeling lost and finding solace in Ishwara's words. There's another quote. "When you feel lost, remember, you are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop."
Whoa, that's powerful. Like, we contain the vastness within ourselves.
Right. And sadly, we also learn about Ishwara's passing later on.
Another loss. It seems these connections are deeply felt.
Yeah, they are. Okay, so moving on, we meet Anne Freeman. She's described as this bright, vibrant, and unforgettable thread in the tapestry of life.
This is like a dynamic personality.
Yeah. The author met her and her husband, Marcus, over 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And, they shared this warmth and joy. It's like you can just feel it through the words.
30 years is a long time. That's a testament to the power of connection.
It is. And there's this anecdote about visiting a place they called the Temple in the Sky on a mountain. They felt such peace and stillness there.
Connecting with nature, finding that inner peace, a classic element of many spiritual journeys.
Right. And Anne loved meditation and spiritual exploration. She also studied with this Mafu. And there's this idea of trusting the journey, even when things are unclear.
Trusting the journey, that can be tough, can't it? Letting go of the need to know everything?
It can. But sometimes you just have to have faith that you're on the right path, even if you don't know where it's leading.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Sadly, we learned that Marcus passed away, too. And there's this song written in his memory highlighting his wisdom and the connection he shared with Anne.
Even in loss, those connections can continue to inspire us.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, next up is Suzanne Marie. She's described as a lover of tea, a connoisseur of stillness, and a practitioner of the ancient Japanese tea ceremony.
Now that sounds incredibly peaceful.
Right. The tea ceremony itself is a ritual, It's about presence and intention.
Creating that sacred space.
Exactly. And there's this story about Suzanne Marie's tea ceremonies. She creates this space where guests can, let go and just be present.
Turning something ordinary into a meditative experience.
Yeah, exactly. And the author describes this picture of Suzanne Marie, her head tilted upwards. They see it as her openness and connection to something greater.
I see it. A sense of receptivity, seeking wisdom beyond the everyday.
Right. And she's been studying with Mafu for 37 years, deepening her understanding of love, unity, and consciousness.
37 years. That's a serious commitment to a path. It makes you think about what we dedicate ourselves to in our lives.
It does. Okay, now we meet Molly, who works at a primate sanctuary.
Primate sanctuary. That's a bit different.
It is, but the connection theme is still there, you know? Like, connecting with animals can be really profound.
I can imagine. Those bonds can be so strong.
Yeah. And the author talks about Molly's deep bond with the primates. She knows them all by name and their stories.
Wow, that's amazing.
There's a story about Kiko, a rescued capuchin monkey. It really shows the power of love and patience in healing.
I'd love to hear more about that.
Well, Kiko had been through a lot, you know, and was really traumatized. But Molly just kept showing her love and patience. And eventually, Kiko started to trust her and heal.
It's a reminder that healing takes time and compassion. And that applies to our relationships with humans, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like some of the others, Molly has also been a devoted student of Mafu for 37 years.
There's that 37 years again. Mafu's influence seems to run deep.
It does. And Molly sees her meditation practice as being present with the primates with an open heart. Like, it's not separate from her daily life.
Yeah, it's a beautiful way to look at it. Meditation isn't just something you do on a cushion. It's a way of being.
Exactly.
Okay, who's next?
All right, now we meet Alice, and she lives in a place described as the ashram in the sky.
Ashram in the sky. What does that even mean?
Well, I think it refers to a home or retreat, you know, dedicated to spiritual practice, like a place set apart, maybe up high somewhere, connecting to something bigger.
I can see it. A peaceful sanctuary.
Yeah. And the author says Alice fills her inward cup daily through meditation, prayer, and service.
A very intentional approach to spiritual growth.
Right. It's like nourishing her soul through different practices. And guess what? She also has a 37-year journey into spirituality after meeting Mafu.
That number again, there's definitely a pattern here.
Right. And she meditates with joy, seeing it as coming home.
That's lovely. Coming home to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's this anecdote about visiting the ashram and Alice talking about its significance. It's like a place holding the energy of all these spiritual seekers.
Like a sacred space imbued with the energy of those who've been there before.
Exactly.
Okay, who else do we encounter?
So then there's John Taylor, and it shifts to something a little more everyday. It's about mountain drives filled with laughter and conversation.
A change of pace.
Yeah, it became a tradition for them, fostering connection through shared experiences.
It reminds us that spirituality can be found in simple joys and connections.
Right. Doesn't have to be all, you know, serious and intense.
Exactly. So, what's next?
Okay, now there's Leanne Kilburn. She's from Australia, and the author describes her spirit shining as brightly as the silk shirts she once imported from Vietnam.
Wow, what an image. She sounds like a vibrant person.
Oh, she is. And their friendship is built on connection, kindness, and shared passions. Like, they both love surfing.
Shared passions are great for building bonds, creating a natural connection. What kind of passions do you have?
Oh, well,
You know.
we've got time.
Well, okay. I love hiking and reading, and I'm really into learning new languages.
That's great. Always good to keep the mind active.
Yeah.
So, back to Leanne. What else do we learn?
Oh, right. Well, the author mentions getting gifted silk shirts from her. It's like a symbol of their friendship, you know. And like many others, her inner life is rooted in 37 years of studying Mafu. There's that 37 years again. It seems like a pivotal time frame for a lot of these individuals.
It does, doesn't it?
All right, so who's up next?
Okay, so next is Penny Rue Torres Spindler. Now, she's a channeler of Mafu.
A channeler. Okay, so for our listeners who might not be familiar, a channeler is basically someone who acts as a conduit for communication from another being or energy.
Right. So the author talks about this paradox, feeling a deep connection to Mafu through Penny, but Penny herself doesn't seem to know the author personally.
That's interesting. A connection without conscious awareness makes you wonder about the mysteries of channeling.
It does. And then there's this moment where Penny whispers something to someone else about the author, like a whisper of validation. It meant a lot to the author.
Even subtle acknowledgments can carry deep meaning, especially in spiritual contexts.
Yeah. So the author talks about the unique nature of channeling and Penny's role as this bridge between worlds.
Connecting to realms beyond our ordinary perception.
Exactly. Okay, then there's Prema Nanda, who the author meets at the ashram after being away for 10 years. Prem has this radiant smile and welcomes them back with kind words.
A warm welcome after a long absence. It makes you feel good just hearing about it.
It does. And you guessed it, her kindness is linked to her 37 years of spiritual practice with Mafu.
That number keeps popping up.
I know, right? And there's this anecdote about Prem expressing gratitude for their presence, calling it a gift.
Simply being present is a gift in itself, isn't it? Just sharing our energy with others.
It is. Okay, so next is Julia Roberson. She's involved in the film industry and has all these captivating stories. And get this, she also loves surfing.
Another surfer. Sounds like a creative soul.
Yeah, she is. And her view on meditation is about finding stillness to navigate the world with more clarity.
I like that. Not escaping the world, but using meditation to engage with it more effectively.
Right. It's like finding that inner calm amidst the chaos.
Exactly.
Okay, then we meet Justin Murphy. He's known for his resilience and unwavering love, especially for his dog.
Dog people are the best.
I know, right? His dogs are like companions and reflections of his heart.
The bond between humans and animals can be so powerful.
It can. And there's this sweet anecdote about Justin comforting his dog during a storm. It just shows his caring nature.
Sometimes it's the small acts of kindness that reveal the most about a person.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
Okay, now we get to a big one. The encounter with Mafu and someone named Sophia. It starts with this unexpected invitation to lunch after Mafu's talk.
An invitation to lunch. That's interesting.
Yeah, and then Mafu says this wild thing about not being on this planet for 34,000 years and being unlimited God.
Whoa, that's a lot to unpack.
It is. It's like he's challenging our whole understanding of time and human potential.
Yeah, and it ties back to that earlier quote about being the entire ocean in a drop. Like maybe we are all capable of so much more than we realize.
Right.
Okay, so what happens next?
So Mafu tells the author to counsel with her, Sophia, and take your nutrition with her. It will be a great saving grace for you.
Sounds like important advice. It does. But here's the thing. The author missed the opportunity to connect with Sophia during the limo ride, even though they were right there together.
Oh, no. A missed opportunity. That's got to be frustrating.
It is. And the author describes Sophia as having this quiet intensity in the limo.
Like she held a certain wisdom or energy that was palpable.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, who do we meet next?
Okay, so then there's Trisha. She's known for her kindness, and she's also a 37-year student of Mafu. There's that number again.
It's becoming a familiar refrain at this point.
I know, right? And Trisha sees meditation as finding stillness within for clarity, kind of like Julia.
A common thread. It seems like a lot of these individuals find peace and clarity through meditation.
They do. And there's this simple but nice anecdote about Trisha's welcoming smile.
A simple gesture that can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
Who else is there?
Okay, so then there's Christine Edner. The author met her in Maui during a time of, spiritual exploration.
Maui is a beautiful and spiritual place. I can see why it would draw people seeking those kinds of experiences.
Yeah, it is. And their connection deepened later on in Ashland, Oregon. They shared coffee, went to spiritual gatherings, and just talked and shared stories.
Building that bond over time and shared experiences.
Exactly. And the author talks about this thread of love, connecting them across time and distance.
A beautiful metaphor for a lasting friendship.
It is.
Oh.
Okay, next is Tori Biles. Their friendship is based on spiritual study and, get this, shared meals, specifically Taco Tuesdays.
Taco Tuesdays, that's fantastic. Who doesn't love tacos?
Right. And Tori is described as wise and insightful. He has this perspective on embracing the mess of life.
That's refreshing. Spirituality isn't always about being perfect and serene. It's about embracing all of life, even the messy parts.
Yeah, exactly. It's about finding beauty in the imperfections.
Okay, who's next on the list?
All right, now we meet Julie. Their conversations were full of laughter and joy, and there's this anecdote about Julie's lavender elixir.
A lavender elixir sounds delightful.
It does, doesn't it? It's like she brings a little bit of magic to everything. And Julie sees life as this tapestry of love and connection.
That's a beautiful image. We are all interconnected, woven together by those threads of love.
Exactly. Okay, then there's Christiane Pearson, the heart of the neighborhood. She's known for her kindness and generosity, especially her legendary Christmas parties.
Christmas parties. Sound like a festive soul.
Oh, she is. And she's also a 37-year devoted student of Mafu.
That number, again, Mafu's influence seems to span decades.
It really does. And there's this anecdote about one of her Christmas parties and just, Christiane's welcoming presence. She makes everyone feel included.
That's a special gift to be able to create that kind of welcoming atmosphere.
It is. Okay, now we have Kathleen Kellenbeck. She also hosted joyful Christmas parties. And guess what? She's also a 37-year devoted student of Mafu.
It seems like this group really valued coming together and celebrating, especially around the holidays.
Yeah, they did. And there's this anecdote about catching up with friends at one of her parties. Kathleen talks about embracing the Christmas miracle of life, the messiness and the unpredictable beauty of it all.
It's like what Tori said about embracing the mess of life. It's about finding the magic in the everyday, the unexpected, the imperfect.
Exactly.
All right, who else is there?
Okay, next is Dan Altman. The author met him in Maui. They connected through their work, software engineering.
Finding connection in unexpected places.
Right. And Dan has this zest for life and infectious energy. They reconnected in Ashland and had all these great coffee conversations.
Coffee and conversation, what a great combination. So what was Dan's perspective?
Well, he's all about savoring the moment and the importance of connection.
Living in the present, appreciating those connections. It's a good reminder for all of us.
That is.
All right, who else is in this incredible network of individuals?
Okay, so then there's Lauren Nagari Rubin, a master of the didgeridoo.
The didgeridoo, now that's a unique instrument.
It is. And Lauren is a teacher and guide, helping others learn to play.
Connecting through music and ancient traditions. I love it.
Me too. Okay, next is Marie-Andre Air-Turan. She's called the heart of the ashram because she nourishes both body and soul through her cooking.
Food is such an important part of community and connection, and it can definitely nourish the soul as well as the body.
Exactly. And her love for cooking is rooted in her 37-year spiritual practice with Mafu.
There's that 37 years again. It's amazing how many people have dedicated so much of their lives to Mafu's teachings.
It really is. And there's this anecdote about a shared meal at the ashram highlighting the nourishing power of food and connection.
It's not just about the food itself. It's about the shared experience, the love and intention that goes into preparing it, and the connections that are made around the table.
Right, exactly.
All right, who's next?
Okay, now we meet Josie Maltese, who the author met in Maui. She embodies the spirit of aloha.
Aloha, the Hawaiian spirit of love and welcome. I love that.
Me too. And she's a talented photographer and videographer. They shared a love for surfing and, beach BBQs.
Sounds like a perfect way to spend time in Maui.
It does, doesn't it? And there's this anecdote about a sunset surf session and Josie talking about the beauty of the present moment. And like many others, her love for life is rooted in her 37-year spiritual practice with Mafu.
Finding that connection to the present moment, appreciating the beauty around us. It's a reminder to slow down and savor the simple things.
It is. Okay, then we have Mark Richards. The author describes him as having warmth and kindness, a calming presence. And there's this story about a necklace Mafu gave him, symbolizing letting go.
Letting go of attachments. That's a core teaching in many spiritual traditions.
Yeah.
It's about releasing what no longer serves us, making space for new possibilities.
Right. And Mark's spiritual practice is connected to his work at a tiger sanctuary.
Wow, working with tigers. That must be an incredible experience. Talk about connecting with nature's power.
I know, right.
So, who else is in this incredible network of individuals?
Okay, so next up is Ron Hansen, Leanne's husband. He's described as this man of depth and diversity. He can talk about anything, from economics to spirituality.
A true Renaissance man. It sounds like he has a curious and expansive mind.
He does.
Who else is there?
Okay, then there's Karen Dix. She has this radiant spirit and infectious laughter, and she can connect with anyone and bring joy to any situation. She really appreciates life's simple moments.
Sounds like someone who brightens every room she enters. We could all use a little more of that in our lives.
I agree. Okay, then we have Roland Turen from Canada. He brings warmth and joy, has infectious laughter, and tells captivating stories. He also really appreciates shared moments and being present.
Another one who emphasizes the importance of connection and presence. It seems like a common theme among this group.
It is. Okay, next is Florence. She was an amazing host, creating these warm and joyful gatherings. She could connect with anyone and inspire them. And she celebrated the simple things in life, the meaningful moments.
Another heart-centered individual, bringing people together and creating a sense of belonging. That's a beautiful quality.
That is.
Okay, who's next?
Now we have Andrew Rubin. He's remembered as a legacy of light and the foundation of meditative studies. His friendship really touched the author's heart.
A legacy of light. What a beautiful way to be remembered. It sounds like he had a profound impact on the author's spiritual journey.
He did. Okay, then we have Thomas Donnelly, an incredible photographer with a gift for capturing moments. He has this passion for his craft and sees the world with fresh eyes. There's an anecdote from an Italian fest that highlights the gift of presence. And Thomas sees photography as, seeing the beauty in the ordinary.
A true artist, using his craft to capture the essence of life and share it with others.
Exactly. Okay, then we have Mandy. The author witnessed her transformation during a visit to the ashram. She had this welcoming presence, full of warmth and compassion, and she radiated this profound shift like her true essence was shining through.
A powerful example of personal transformation. It's a reminder that we are all capable of growth and change.
Yeah, it is.
Right, who's next?
Okay, next is Meredy Chase, the author's neighbor in Ashland. She was known for her joy and laughter, and her warmth and humor brought people together. There's this anecdote about seeing a bald eagle at the lake. She had a great smile and a wonderful sense of humor.
It's amazing how a joyful and humorous presence can uplift everyone around them.
It is. Okay, then there's Josh and Peter 80, their father and son, although they didn't know it at first. Josh has this engaging presence and joyful spirit, while Peter is more calm and thoughtful.
Wow, what a story. To discover a family connection like that, life is full of surprises.
It is.
Okay, who else is in this vast network of connections?
Okay, now we meet Terry Williams. She has a heart of gold and an endless capacity for love and kindness. There's this anecdote about her welcoming old friends, which really highlights her generous spirit. And the author says that love is her most precious gift.
A true embodiment of love and kindness. It's a reminder that those are the most valuable gifts we can offer to the world.
I agree. Okay, then there's Keith Manick and his wife, Jane. Keith has depth and quiet wisdom, and their love is deep and unwavering. Jane loves to meditate, and Keith often joins her.
A couple connected through love and a shared spiritual practice. How beautiful.
It is. And they encountered Mafu's message about love, stillness, and mindfulness during one of Jane's meditations. They practiced conscious breathing and heart-centered teachings, bringing mindfulness to their daily lives.
Integrating those teachings into every aspect of their lives. It's inspiring to see how they've embraced those principles.
It is. Okay, next is Linda Haxton. She's kind and wise, and get this, she's a successful real estate agent. She's also a 37-year student of Mafu, and for her, meditation is a way of being.
Wow, successful in the business world and dedicated to her spiritual practice. It shows that those two things aren't mutually exclusive. You can be successful and still be deeply connected to your inner self.
Right, and there's this story about how she helped Richard and Barbara sell their house, and she shared her spiritual journey with them. She emphasized finding peace within and connecting with your inner self to truly connect with others.
That's a beautiful message. Our inner peace radiates outward and affects our relationships with everyone around us.
It does. Okay, then we have Bob Haxton, who reconnected with Richard after many years. He deepened his love for meditation and became a 37-year student of Mafu. They shared a lot of history and often meditated together, finding solace in the shared silence.
The power of friendship and shared spiritual practice, it's a reminder that those connections can sustain us throughout our lives.
Yeah, it is. Okay, now there's Lindy Hobangwana. Her story shows how life can connect you with people in unexpected ways. She met someone named Silas back in 1975, and they had this lasting connection. Then, years later, they reconnected through a mutual friend in Ashland.
Wow, reconnecting after all those years. Like the universe has a way of bringing people back together when the time is right.
It does.
All right, who else is there?
Okay, so next is Rob Spindler. He's described as a kindred spirit and fellow traveler on a spiritual path. He's a deep listener with a thoughtful presence, and they shared laughter, wisdom, and a commitment to love and presence.
A true friend and companion on the spiritual journey. It's so valuable to have someone who understands and supports your path.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, then we have Lynn Conwell. She's seen as a reflection of the divine, emphasizing interconnectedness. She cherishes moments of connection and seeks inner stillness.
Seeing the divine in everyone and everything, it's a beautiful way to approach life, recognizing that interconnectedness.
It is.
Okay, who's next?
All right, now there's Christine Perini. She's described as a living testament to the power of love and spiritual practice. She's adventurous. She even spent time in the Amazon. She has this connection to nature and other cultures, and she emphasizes living with love and seeking inner stillness.
Living a life full of adventure and spiritual depth. It sounds like she's found a beautiful balance between exploring the outer world and cultivating her inner world.
She has.
All right, who else is there?
Okay, then we have Allison Richards. She's kind and compassionate and can find joy in the simplest things. She just carries this sense of ease and joy, a living testament to love and spiritual practice.
Embracing the joy in everyday life, it's contagious. When we cultivate that inner joy, it spreads to everyone around us.
It really does. Okay, then we have Robert Nagato Needleman. He carries the weight of the world with grace, sharing wisdom through posts that draw from Zen and Aikido. He's also the director of veterinary services at the Oregon Tiger Sanctuary. has this deep compassion for animals.
Wow, a veterinarian, a Zen practitioner, and an Aikido enthusiast. It's amazing how he's integrated those different disciplines into his life. And his work with tigers, that's just incredible.
It is. He sees this connection between meditation, Aikido, and caring for tigers. It's all about harmony and working with energy.
It makes sense. They all require focus, balance, and an understanding of energy flow.
Right. Okay, then there's Judith Ernst. She carries a piece of the divine, has warmth and boundless love, and is a devoted student of Mafu with an exemplary meditation practice. She leads meditation sessions and emphasizes love as a way of being.
A true spiritual teacher, guiding others on their paths and sharing the power of love.
Yeah, she is. Okay, now there's Andrea Garfield. She loves and adores dragons, and she works at the Oregon Tiger Sanctuary. She's a longtime student of Mafu with a dedicated meditation practice, radiating calm energy and presence.
Dragons and tigers, what a combination. It sounds like she's drawn to powerful and mythical creatures.
She is, and it's like her love for dragons represents this playful, imaginative side, while her work with tigers shows her connection to, real-world power and compassion.
I like that, embracing both the magical and the real.
Right. Okay, then we have Krishna Gokul. He balances action and reflection, emphasizing inner stillness to engage with the world fully. He's a healer, a physician, with kindness and wisdom.
A true healer, balancing inner peace with outward action. It's a reminder that we can be both contemplative and effective in the world.
Yeah. And his work as a physician allows him to bring that healing energy to others.
Exactly. Okay, who else is in this fascinating group?
Okay, so next is Christian Divine, the author's brother. He embodies balance, strength, and gentleness. And he shares insights from his meditation practice about finding a quiet center.
A brotherly bond strengthened through shared spiritual practices.
Right. And it's interesting to see how meditation has helped him find that inner peace.
It's a testament to the power of meditation to transform our lives.
It is. Okay, then there's Joanne Tadaro. She finds stillness and peace even though she has a really demanding career. She emphasizes compassion and mindfulness.
It's a reminder that we can cultivate inner peace no matter what our external circumstances are.
Exactly. It's about finding that stillness within, even amidst the busyness of life.
Right.
Okay, then we have Corey Komisky. She works at the Oregon Tiger Sanctuary, has this calm presence that inspires trust, and is a devoted student of Mafu, using meditation for clarity.
Another one drawn to working with tigers. There seems to be a strong connection between these individuals.